The unseen struggle early rejections. Jack Ma's story did not start with success, far from it. He grew up in Hangzhou, China. Times were different then. Opportunities were not abundant. He was not a top student, not by traditional measures. He struggled with exams, especially mathematics. He even failed his college entrance exam twice. These early failures could have defined him. They could have told him to aim lower. But something inside Jack was different. He simply refused to give up easily. His academic challenges were just the beginning. After finally getting into a local teacher's college, which was his third attempt, he faced more doors closing. He wanted to learn. He wanted to grow. He applied to Harvard University. He applied 10 times. Each time the answer was no. Think about that. 10 rejections from one dream. Most people would stop after 2, maybe 3. But Jack kept going. This pattern of rejection was becoming a theme. It was testing his resolve. When he graduated, finding a job was incredibly hard. He applied for many positions. He was rejected from almost all of them. He applied to be a police officer. They said he was no good. He even went to KFC when it first came to his city. 24 people applied for jobs there. 23 were accepted. Jack was the only one rejected. Imagine how that must have felt, to be the single person turned away. It was a stark message of exclusion. These experiences could have crushed his spirit. They could have made him bitter. They could have convinced him he was not meant for anything great. But they didn't. Instead, these rejections became fuel. They became lessons. They taught him about perseverance. They taught him about facing adversity. He learned not to take no for an answer. He learned that failure is just a step. It is not the destination. This foundation of resilience was being built brick by painful brick, preparing him. The spark of why. Finding true north. Why did Jack Ma keep going? What drove him past so many closed doors? It was not just about finding a job. It was not just about making money. There was a deeper reason, a why. He had a belief in something more. He sensed there was a different path for him. This inner drive, this purpose, was his compass. It kept him searching. It kept him looking for an opening. This is the power of knowing your why. It gives you strength when everything else says to quit. A pivotal moment came in 1995. Jack Ma visited the United States for the first time. A friend showed him the internet. It was new. It was exciting. He typed the word beer into a search engine. He saw beers from Germany, from America, but he saw no beer from China. He then typed China. Almost no information appeared. This was a shock. A country as vast and rich in history as China was invisible on this new global platform. This sparked an idea. He saw a huge opportunity. He saw a way to connect China to the world. He saw a way to help small Chinese businesses that were struggling just like he had. He did not know much about computers. He was not a tech expert. He famously said he knew nothing about technology. But he knew about people. He knew about needs. He understood the power of connection. His vision was not about code. It was about empowering others. This vision became his unwavering why. It was bigger than himself. It was about his country. It was about the underdogs. This clarity of purpose gave him incredible courage. He returned to China with a mission. He wanted to build China's internet. Many people thought he was crazy. The internet was not well known in China then. The infrastructure was poor. But Jack Ma believed. His why was strong enough to overcome the doubt. It was strong enough to start a revolution. Alibaba's ascent building against the odds. With his vision clear, Jack Ma started his first internet company. It was called China Pages. It was a directory for Chinese businesses. The challenges were immense. The internet was slow and unreliable in China. Few people understood what he was trying to do. Funding was almost impossible to find. He worked tirelessly, trying to convince businesses to list themselves. It was an uphill battle. China Pages had some success, but it was not the ultimate dream. It was a learning ground. Then came the idea for Alibaba. In 1999, Jack Ma gathered 17 friends in his small apartment. He shared his grand vision. He wanted to create an online marketplace, a place where small and medium-sized businesses could connect, a platform for them to trade both within China and globally. He spoke with passion. He spoke about trust. He spoke about helping the little guys. He did not promise them riches. He promised them a chance to build something meaningful. They believed in him. They believed in his why. The early days of Alibaba were incredibly tough. They had no money. They had no powerful connections. They worked long hours in Jack's apartment. The conditions were basic. Skepticism was everywhere. How could a small company from China compete? How could they build trust online when e-commerce was so new? Many people told him it would fail. The dot-com bubble burst shortly after they started. It wiped out many internet companies, but Alibaba survived. They were lean, they were focused. They overcame challenges through sheer determination. They focused on their customers, the small businesses. They built a community. They fostered trust. Jack Ma's leadership was crucial. He kept the team motivated. He reminded them of their purpose. He believed that if they helped their customers succeed, Alibaba would succeed. This customer-centric approach, driven by a deep why, was their secret weapon. They were not just building a website. They were building a new way of doing business for millions. The legacy of belief lessons for a new generation. Alibaba grew. It grew beyond anyone's wildest expectations. It became an e-commerce giant. It transformed how business is done in China. It had a massive impact on the global economy. Jack Ma became one of the wealthiest people in the world. But his success is not just about money. It is about the impact he created. It is about the millions of small businesses he empowered. It is about the jobs he helped create. This is the true measure of his achievement. His journey offers powerful lessons for young entrepreneurs, for students, for anyone facing challenges. The first lesson is resilience. Rejection is not the end. It is a test of your commitment. Jack Ma faced countless rejections, but he never let them define him. He used them as stepping stones. He showed that perseverance pays off. If you believe in what you are doing, keep going. Don't let the no's stop you from reaching your yes. This is a fundamental truth. The second lesson is the power of vision, the power of why. Jack Ma saw a future that others could not. He had a clear purpose to help small businesses. This why guided all his decisions. It inspired his team. It attracted customers. When you know your why, you can overcome any how. Your purpose becomes your engine. It gives you direction. It gives meaning to your struggle. It's the starting point for all great endeavors. It's what separates fleeting success from lasting impact. Finally, believe in yourself, even when no one else does. Jack Ma was not a tech guru, he was a teacher. But he had an idea, and he had the courage to pursue it. He surrounded himself with people who shared his vision. He built a culture of belief. His story teaches us that ordinary people can achieve extraordinary things. If you have a dream, protect it, nurture it, work for it. Your background does not determine your future. Your belief and your actions do. That is the enduring legacy of Jack Ma.